Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I feel like our videos lately have been a lot of heavy hitters.
Uh-huh.
We've been making a lot of big life announcements, and this video is also that.
A lot of issues with you, like sickness, injury, mental health. I feel like we're just on a roll.
If you look at our recent titles, it's like Shane hurt, Shane not doing well, Shane sick.
But you know what? We are authentic and we are just giving, otherwise we just wouldn't be here at all. So this is what you're getting. I hope you enjoy.
This is our life.
Yep.
This is a YouTube channel about our life together. A few videos ago, we told you about my mental decline and how over the summer it felt like my brain broke and I began dealing with depression and anxiety in ways that I never have before. I began therapy, and I've been in therapy since then. This video is intended to give you an update about how that has been going, and also provide a little bit more context about everything that happened over the summer and what I'm dealing with.
Yeah, things that you want to share now that you weren't sure you were going to share before, like things that you just thought about for a while.
Yeah, it's always a difficult decision to know what to put out there in the world, what we're comfortable with, what we want all of you to know about the most vulnerable parts of our life. And so we thought about this for a while, but I am 3 months sober.
Yay!
Yay! I, for many years, have been using alcohol to manage my emotions, I will say, in a way that, for many years, felt to me like not a problem. And then as time went on, began to feel like more and more of a problem when I couldn't easily stop wanting alcohol to manage my emotions. Is that a fair way of explaining that?
I think that makes sense, yeah.
I think people that have dealt with alcohol dependency will understand the feeling of swearing to yourself that you don't have a problem, while also simultaneously wondering if you have a problem. I think for me, it was that question being in my head for so long that made me realize, all right, I think I might need some help with stopping alcohol as my main form of emotional management.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what happened around the time that I began therapy. I was beginning to understand that all of my negative emotions, or that I was using alcohol to kind of numb all of the difficult emotions that I was feeling, and realizing that that was a bad thing, and wanting help to stop that.
Stopping drinking in general is something that Shane has tried on his own before in our relationship. I feel like from the time we met, it was just like kind of a thing that popped up every once in a while.
Yeah.
But never successfully. And I feel like that was this past summer. I honestly, I forget the timeline, but like there were just a couple times recently that Shane tried and then it didn't work out. And I think that was kind of like one of the impetuses to having someone help you through that process and not just doing it.
Oh, you know what? I can't do this. Like, I really thought I could. I don't think I can.
I mean, I think that's part of the question you were asking is like, I don't have a problem. Like, I 100% don't. But like, do I? And then you would test it and be like, if I don't have a problem because I can just stop.
Yeah.
And then you would stop for like 2 days, and then that was it. And I think that was when you were like, oh.
Yeah. And another way that I kind of like used mental gymnastics to convince myself that everything was fine was that I didn't drink excessively. The way it looked for me was that every evening I began to crave a drink, and if I didn't have one or couldn't have one for whatever reason, I became grumpy and upset by it because I was beginning to feel and think about all the negative things, that I was dealing with. But I didn't have like these moments where I would like drink so much that I drove my chair off a cliff or like, injured myself or things like that. But it was like a daily kind of need that I began to notice that was a signal that I needed to get help.
As we're talking about mental health today, our sponsor of today's video is a great fit. So thank you to Grow Therapy for sponsoring this video.
Yeah, the holidays are approaching, and as we all know, the holidays can be a very stressful time, especially if you're already dealing with things like anxiety or depression or loneliness. And so prioritizing your mental health is a really important thing to do now more than ever.
Grow Therapy is a platform that allows you to choose a therapist for either in-person or virtual sessions.
It's super easy to use, and many of the therapists are available for online appointments within like 48 hours.
There are no subscriptions, so you pay per appointment, and most sessions cost around $21 with insurance.
Grow Therapy has over 1 million users, and they have a 4.7 Trustpilot rating.
Go to growtherapy.co/Squirmy and Grubs or scan the QR code to get started with therapy that fits you.
Thank you again to Grow Therapy for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to my sobriety journey.
So in August, we were in Pennsylvania, and I think on our drive back, we had a night in a hotel and we didn't have beer with us. And Shane normally brings beer on our road trips and we'll take it into the hotel every night. And on this night, we ran out and we just didn't have it. And so the options were Shane didn't have a beer, or we went to a liquor store, and we had driven like 9 hours that day. He knew that if he asked me to go to the liquor store, I would not be a happy camper.
And you'd be surprised how many times I did make that choice. And just, this is annoying, but we need to run out. I need a pack of beer.
Yeah, so that night Shane didn't have a beer. And then the next night, I think the hotel had beer for sale. And I was like, do you want to just grab one before we get to our room? Because I knew otherwise we'd be coming back down to get it. And Shane was like, no, I'm not having alcohol. And I was like, okay.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, bewildered. I was like, what? I honestly don't know if you told me then that it was for good, but I think you were just like, yeah, because I didn't last night, I'm just gonna try. And this was probably 3 or 4 weeks into therapy, maybe. And the therapy had been to stop drinking, but not right away. He was getting into it. He was gonna begin at some point. Any week now he was gonna begin. And so I feel like just that week you were like, yeah. I'm at one day and I'm just gonna stick with it.
Yeah, I told myself that I would take it day by day, and I think that really helped me. Mm-hmm. I never in my brain was like, today is the day that I'm stopping for good.
Yeah.
It was more, I'm choosing to not have any of it today. And the next day I made the same choice.
Yeah.
And the next day the same choice.
And it was not easy.
No.
These choices this was not a good time period.
Mainly for Hannah, because my mood was in the dumpster.
For you, mostly for you. I obviously don't like when you're upset, but yeah, it was not like a everyday Shane was like, I'm not gonna have alcohol today. It was much rougher than that.
The fact of the matter is that there are aspects of disability grief and the loss of ability that I lived with, that again I was numbing with alcohol, that now that I didn't have alcohol were right there out in the open for me to deal with just my brain.
Yeah,
it was rough for a while, and I'm now, like I said, 3 months in, and it is getting easier, but it's still a daily choice. Tonight I am not going to have a drink. You should tell them about all the drinks that I've gotten to not have alcohol,
Our fridge is stocked. Yeah, we went to the store and I feel like ginger ale has been your go-to. Shane's a big fan of ginger ale.
I didn't know it.
You didn't know it. And you, after that first week, we got non-alcoholic wine or something.
Yeah.
And Shane refused to drink it. He tried it. He was like, that is not wine. I hate it. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then when we were in Tampa, our friend Amanda had non-alcoholic Chardonnay or rosé, and you tried it, and you were like, "This is so good."
Yeah.
So that has been one of the things that you've had now. I think now that it's a little further out, you're like, "This is good." So we have a ton of different items in the fridge to pick from each night, and you've begun getting fun mocktails with me at restaurants.
Yep.
Which I'm a big fan of because I get to try both.
This is really a win-win.
And you want to talk about, your sugar intake?
Yeah.
Because it's another win for me.
Shortly after I stopped drinking, I began to crave sweets. And if you've been watching our channel for any amount of time, you know that I am team savory through and through. I don't have a sweet tooth. But in the evening, after dinner, I started asking Hannah, do we have chocolate or like ice cream?
Ice cream.
I would take cake. Uh, and, at first it was just like, oh, this is an odd thing. And then I brought it up to my therapist.
Because it was really noticeable. This was a big deal.
Um, and my therapist was like, oh, yeah, that happens. Alcohol is sugar. And so my body came to expect its daily sugar in the evening. And then when I stopped drinking, it didn't have it. And so I needed sugar, and candy or chocolate became how I got that. And so I was so happy about it. A, because I suddenly loved sweets.
Unlocked a whole new food group.
But also because weight gain is always something that I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
And having nightly sweets is a great way to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been really good for Hannah. Because now when we're out to dinner, I will order dessert, and Hannah gets to try it.
Unbelievable.
And yeah, so that is where I'm at right now. I have not been drinking for 3 months now. It's been very difficult, getting easier, doing well. Like, I feel like I've turned a corner. I'm dealing with my emotions in healthier ways that are not alcohol, and I'm taking it day by day.
Yeah.
So we're feeling very good about that. My heart goes out to everyone who is dealing with stuff like this. I'm rooting for you, and just wanted you all to know.
Yay, baby.
Yay! Hannah deserves every award on the planet, from dealing with my nightly drinking to dealing with me stopping and how rough that has been. I've been telling my therapist, like, I have the #1 supporter in the world at home, and she's been making it as easy as it can be by getting me drinks and supporting me and hugging me and reminding me that I can do it, and just being there for me. So thank you.
Aww, that's
And
nice.
yeah, okay. I don't know how to end this video, but
We'll see you.
we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay, bye.